Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another musical review for you guys. Another one of those musical movie reviews that I'm reviewing, because as you guys know, I am reviewing musical movies, but this time I am reviewing a true classic, and this is a movie that I haven't seen in a while, but I've had the DVD for a while. I just haven't seen it in a while. I've seen it many times before, and this movie, this is why I love doing these reviews, and I'll talk about why, but that is for the 1953 musical comedy classic, The Bandwagon. And this movie, I remember when I first found out about this movie, I found out this movie from an Arthur Freed documentary. Because, this is one of those movies that Arthur Freed did and things like that. He really made the big idea of a musical movie get going. And also Vincent Minnelli and things like that, which I'll talk about. But I definitely looking forward to this movie. And, I've seen it many times before. And after rewatching it, I gotta say, I forgot how much I love this movie. This movie is amazing. This movie is a masterpiece. I love The Bandwagon. It is by far one of my favorite musicals of all time. I absolutely loved it. And out of the musicals I reviewed on this channel, this has to be my favorite, because this movie is just amazing. I love everything about it. And let's just get to the initial plot of The Bandwagon, which is pretty awesome. I love the plot of The Bandwagon. Basically, we focus on this character, Tony Hunter. He is this guy who... He used to do musical comedy, he's very famous with it, but he's kind of washed up, he's kind of not really a thing anymore. Like, he's kind of in that position where, where you just have stars that, aren't big, but of course, his two friends, Lester and Lily, and, a lot of people, there's a scene in the beginning where everyone's like, oh, Tony Hunter's career is dead and everything, and he doesn't want to believe that, so... he's pretty concerned, though, that his career is over, but his two friends, Lester and Lily... have written a stage show for him that they feel is perfect for his comeback. They want to make it his comeback and everything. And Tony signs up for this, and what they don't tell him is that the director of this, Jeffrey Cordova, is planning on changing this comedy into a dark representation and everything. And basically, the movie becomes a story of, let's put on a show. Can we put on a show? Can we do this all? And that's the story of The Bandwagon, which I really love. It's a really simple plot, but I really like that plot. I think it's a lot of fun to watch. So there's a lot of things I really enjoy about this movie. First of all, one of the things I love about this movie is just the concept of it. I think the concept is a very cool concept. It really is sort of like just a movie that anyone who has done a show in theater, they can relate to this movie. Anyone who's done a theater should watch this movie, because... it relates to, anyone that's done theater. Anyone that's done theater, and I'll talk about that. But let's first get to the acting in this movie. The acting, the performances in this movie are just amazing. Fred Astaire as Tony Hunter. Oh my god, Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire, one of the greats, as usual. I mean, Fred Astaire... it's fantastic in everything he's in, but this has to be his best performance. He knocks it out of the park here. The second he's on screen, you love his character. I mean, he has everything you love about Fred Astaire in this movie. He has some awesome singing numbers, some awesome dancing numbers. He's also very, very funny in the movie, and I thought he was a very good character. I really liked his character a lot. One thing I like about his character is that he, at one point, goes down to this arcade to see, what's changed. It used to be a theater he performed in, now it's an arcade. And I like seeing those beginning scenes we have with him where he is seeing how much things have changed and he's not really sure what to do now. And I like that he's at first a little bit hesitant about doing this, musical comedy or not. He's not really sure if he wants to do it. So I like that as well. And I thought he did a very good job with doing that. And I'll get more to his singing and things like that. But he did, as usual, a very good job. And also great in the movie is Cyd Charisse as Gabrielle, Jared, or just Gabby. Gabby's character I loved, because the thing about Gabby is that she is this very famous dancer that everyone loves, and she's going to be the female lead in this musical comedy. And one of the things I love about the two of them is that he is very skeptical working with her, because he feels that she is going to overshadow him, because, she's more popular and he was just a thing back in the day. But she's just as worried, because she's worried that he is so famous that she's not going to be, this is not going to be her big role. This is not going to be a big debut role for her like they want it to be. So I like seeing that, think of how many times it happens to people. You have a debut role for some, but the other person is so well known they end up overshadowing them. I like the movie touches upon that as well. And eventually, you know, at first they don't like each other, but eventually, of course, you know they're going to get together. And I think their chemistry was just handled so well. Fred Astaire and Cyd Charisse had perfect chemistry in this movie. They were fantastic. Cyd Charisse did a lot of these kind of like musical movies, and she was fantastic in this as well. You know, definitely really good. And I thought she did a very good job. Definitely a really, really good performance from her. Oscar Levant and Annette Fubray as Lester and Lily were also very good. Not too much to say about them. They were very good, though. But you have to talk about Jack Buchanan as Jeffrey Cordova, who is such a big character and such a funny character because he wants to change so many things in this musical. He literally says in the musical, one of my favorite lines, that he says, oh, there's no difference between Shakespeare and live theater. And I love that he says that. I mean, one of the things that this movie shows is that, you know, really any show you can change, but you can't change it. You know, he wants to turn this musical comedy into a drama, and just the things he wants to do is so ridiculous and so crazy, but it just works so well, and that you just go with it. And I think the way that Jack Buchanan handled all that was so funny. He was so funny in the movie, and he steals the show in so many scenes that he's in. He was very, very funny, and I loved his acting in the movie. So funny at points, and just he was great. Some of the funniest scenes in the movie involve his character, definitely. I thought he was great in the movie, definitely. So yeah, he was great as well. Now, the directing is by Vincent Minnelli in this movie, and he is the one to do these kind of movies. Vincent Minnelli did all the best kind of musicals of the 40s and 50s, and this is one of the best ones by far, and I think he did a fantastic job directing this movie, because here's the thing of Vincent Minnelli, he is experienced with doing this, he's experienced with putting on a show, he's experienced with directing a musical, he's experienced with it, so because of that, and I like they did that, I like they didn't just get some unknown director to do this movie, because if that would happen, this movie would be a disaster. You have to get someone who's done Broadway and done live theater and done musical and done movies, things like that. And Fred Astaire and Cyd Charisse were both on Broadway, so they both were really great in this movie. And I think that his directing was absolutely fantastic. He knew how to direct this movie. Just the way he directs this movie, the tones of the movie is so fun to watch. And honestly, it's one of the reasons this movie is so good, is because of the directing. The directing in this movie is absolutely fantastic, and the tone is portrayed very well. A lot of the movie, you can tell right away, this is not a movie you really have to take that seriously. It's a movie you can have fun with, and I definitely really enjoy that about the movie. I mean, you want them to succeed, but other than that, you don't really have to take it too seriously, which I really enjoy about the movie. I think he directed it very, very well. The screenplay to this movie is so fun and so witty and so just... It's so much like, oh my god, I can totally relate to that. Like, it's one of those kind of movies. It's one of those movies where I was watching it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happens to everyone in their show. Like, you always have the mishaps on a stage happen. Like, there's a scene where the lights aren't working and things like that. You have the two people that don't really get along as well. You have that always going on. You have people just constantly changing things. I've been in shows in my high school. I've been in productions in my middle school. I know how this works, and I think they handle it very, very well in this movie, definitely. The screenplay was great because that was very, very funny. The score to this movie, oh my god, the songs to this movie. We have to talk about the songs. The songs to this movie are so good. And I think that's one of the things about this movie is that the songs a lot of people don't remember, but every single song is so good. That's Entertainment is such a good song. I love That's Entertainment. By far my favorite song in the movie. But I also love all the numbers that Fred Astaire has. He has a great number in the beginning called Shoe Shine. I Got a Shine on My Shoe, I think it's called. And it's such a fantastic dance number. And we have to get to the choreography in this movie, which is by far the best part of this movie. The choreography in this movie is top-notch choreography. This is 50s choreography. It's amazing to watch. There's so many amazing sequences in this movie. The last, 28 or something minutes, there's stuff going on, but it's mainly just performance out of performance out of performance, which I really enjoy watching. And by far, the highlight of this movie, the highlight of it, has to be Girl Hump Ballet. Girl Hump Ballet is absolutely fantastic. Now, every single one of these movies in the 50s, Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire, well, not, not every single one, but the big ones, like Sing in the Rain, The Band, Wagon, things like that, they had those big ballets in them, especially in American Paris. It's very famous for that. This movie has the Girl Hunt Ballet, and oh my god, it's such an amazing piece. It's like, I think like 7 minutes long or 8 minutes long or something like that. It's such an amazing thing to watch. I mean, this right here is amazing. Everything about it is so well done. And it's so well done that Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, you know that song Smooth Criminal? That is supposed to be borrowing from the Girl Hunt Ballet, which is awesome. I love that. I never knew that, and I looked it up, and that is just awesome that he borrowed from that. Because you can tell he's borrowing from it, and it's just awesome to see that. The story of the Girl Hunt Ballet is great. And honestly, the Girl Hunt Ballet is like a movie within a movie. It's like you're watching the show by yourself. It's like you get to watch the big moment of the show. And I love seeing the Girl Hunt Ballet. It's so well done. I absolutely love that about the movie. Also, some other great highlights. There's this one number called Triplets that is very fun to watch. There's this one number. You know, there are several numbers that are a lot of fun to watch, and that's one of them. And I think that the Girl Hunt Ballet is just absolutely fantastic. It's every time I watch it, I love it, and just, oh my god, such a stunning piece, such a stunning dance piece, such a stunning ballet. I absolutely love the Girl Hunt Ballet. The cinematography in this movie is also top-notch. Cinematography is perfect to this movie, you know, such vibrant colors. This movie was made in 1953, and it looks brand new. It doesn't look old at all, and I love that about the movie. Definitely, I know this movie's coming out on Blu-ray, which this is a movie I'll probably get on Blu-ray. I'll probably get rid of this DVD and get it on Blu-ray, but this movie is just fantastic on, you know, the transfer of it and everything is perfect. I think the cinematography was absolutely fantastic, this movie. And especially towards the end, when we get the really big performance numbers, you know, from the show, it's awesome to watch. I love the performance numbers. I think they are great and absolutely love that about the movie. I also forgot to say that Girl Hunt Ballet is by far one of the best dance sequences ever put to cinema. By far. One of the best dance sequences. The editing of this movie is also perfect. You never want... This is a movie that you don't want to end. This is literally a movie where I'm like, I don't want this to end. I'm loving it so much. I don't want it to end. And when it's over, you're like, oh, it's over. And it's such a good ending. It's such a happy ending. But it's a movie where you don't want it to end. You're having such a good time with it. You don't want it to end. And when a movie does that, that's when you know a movie's doing its job. Because when a movie you love and you don't want it to end, that's when you know you're loving the movie, and that's when you know the movie's doing its job, because the movie's job is to entertain you and keep you invested. And does this movie keep you invested? From the second the movie started, I'm invested, and I forgot how much I love the movie because of that. And when a movie keeps me that invested, that's fantastic, because I never wanted this movie to end. I absolutely love this movie because I think this movie is fantastic with that, definitely. And it's a movie that I'd recommend to people. Honestly, I feel a lot of people have not seen this movie, and I really wish they do, because it's a very good movie. It's one of the best musical films I've ever seen in my life. I absolutely love it. And again, it's really all about putting on a show. I also love the second half of this movie of how sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board. Because, of course, I don't know if you guys noticed, it is a minor spoiler. So if you guys have not seen The Bandwagon, I'm going to talk about minor spoiler, one of my favorite aspects of the movie. Of course, in the second half of the movie, they realize that, you know, as good as Jeffrey's script is, it's not going to work. No one's going to like it. So, of course, you know, Tony decides to make, you know, basically make the production back into what it was supposed to be, and ends up being a great show. And it really shows that how many things get changed. And sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board, but even though you go back to that drawing board, things can get better, and things will always, you know, things will always get better, and things will always improve, and things like that. And I just love that the movie does that. It's a great aspect of the movie. I love that, and I think it's a great message, definitely. But overall, guys, I love The Bandwagon. It's such a fantastic movie. If you guys have not seen Bandwagon, watch it right now. It's such a good movie. I absolutely love it. I highly recommend you guys check out this movie. If you guys have not seen this movie, please, please watch it. It's so good. I mean, the acting is so good. The cinematography is so good. Everything about this movie is fantastic. You're gonna love this movie. It's a movie that you're never gonna want to end, and I highly recommend it because it absolutely is fantastic. That's my review of The Bandwagon. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. I really hope you guys have seen this movie, because this is one of the best musicals of all time by far. And I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for tonight's episode of the original. So I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.